Good morning, good morning, good morning, or good afternoon it is. I think it's Thursday afternoon. That's what happens when you have a massive schedule and you don't even know what day of the week it is. So good morning. Let's talk about anxiety. Something that you know that I specialise in, something that you know that I rabbit on about and have done for years. And I'm sure you've seen some of the testimonials that have come through the page recently. I'm sure that you have heard my story about anxiety itself, and particularly my journey with anxiety attacks. And you'll know that I specialise and work really hard to help people with anxiety and anxiety attacks. And not only just kind of bypass them, but actually eliminate them. And that's kind of my real passion and my real purpose through the Wellness Seeker is to help you eliminate anxiety. Not live with it, not bypass it, not use all of the usual tools and skills that helps you manage it, but actually bypass anxiety, to eliminate it, to get over it and to let it go. So I know that I have a huge waiting list. I think we're nearly into a year plus waiting list at the moment, and that I haven't been able to facilitate the anxiety transformations that I wanted to. So what we're doing this month is we're doing an anxiety workshop. So if that is of any interest to you, then I'll drop the link down below. But what I wanted to do on today's video was explain a wee bit about what this workshop will be and my interpretation of anxiety and how I go about managing to eliminate anxiety. So the first thing that I would do when we're working with anxiety in any one-to-one client is that I will try and stabilise it. Now, how do you stabilise anxiety? Well, the first thing that I'll try and do when I'm working with somebody is that I will have a look at the physiological responses that happen. That is often the most frightening thing for most people who are suffering with anxiety attacks or panic attacks, is the physiological feelings. And if anybody is on here, you will, that has anxiety, see Sharon that you're identifying there, you'll be able to identify with the physiological feelings that I'm talking about. That hit in your stomach, that rush in your heart, that warm face, the sweaty palms. And if it gets so bad, sometimes what it can do is it can nearly take away your ability to think straight, take away your ability to understand what's happening around you. You can nearly feel as if you're just about to absolutely pass out. So the physiological responses to anxiety are incredibly debilitating. They are incredibly difficult to manage. And what happens to a lot of people is that if they have an anxiety trigger that triggers that physical sensation or that mapping, that anxiety map as I call it, then what they can do is they'll shorten their life, they'll shorten their experience of the world, their experience in order to manage these physiological feelings. And it's the first thing that I'll often work at. And can I just say this? And I know I'm saying this from experience. Can I say this, that it is easier to switch this off than you think? It's easier. It's easy to switch off this physiological response. Why and how? Because everybody's anxiety operates within a grid system. And you can map that grid. So basically what I mean about that is that you have an individual way of responding in anxiety, and then you have an individual story that comes from that physiological response, and that keeps the whole thing going on a loop. Now, when you map that, when you get the detail of that, when you get to understand the physical feeling versus the story that you're telling yourself, and then the next physical feeling, and when you map that, what you can do is start to switch it off. And that's transformational. Now, what I'm not saying is that the source of the anxiety stops, because that doesn't in this process, but it's the beginning of the end of anxiety. Because when you begin to map your anxiety, you can switch off all those physical feelings, and you can also identify the source of the anxiety in the mapping. So what we find is when we map anxiety properly and we map it unique to you. This isn't a map that you fit into. This isn't something that I have devised that I say, right, you have to fit into this. This is something that I use. You fit your thoughts, your words, your physiological experience into that, and then we can begin to undo it inside you. And that is how you map anxiety, and that is how real and lasting change happens, and it does, because I'm an example of it, and so is the hundreds of clients that I've worked with. And you only have to scroll up through the Facebook page to see a testimonial from somebody who's been able to eliminate the anxiety completely. But this anxiety mapping is the first stage in that. It is not a difficult process, and it is a very, very worthwhile process, and the results of it are amazing. So what I am going to do is on the 23rd of June, I am going to do a workshop, a virtual workshop, which means that you can be in your house. So wherever you're watching this, wherever part of the world you're watching this in, wherever you are. I know the last workshop we had somebody get up at 4 a.m. In America to join it. So wherever you are in the world, you can join this workshop. The other thing about it is as well is that you don't have to attend live, because the workshop and all its material and all its follow-up material is recorded, and you can watch that on the replay and still do all the exercises and still do all the mapping and still do all of that. Like with all workshops that I do, there will be a live element of it. So I will be live coaching you through your anxiety map and showing you how to actually break away from all those physiological feelings. So if you're ready to stop the anxiety attacks, to stop this physiological response, and to understand the source of your anxiety, if you're ready to do that, then join me on the 23rd of June. Where I will live coach you, walk you through it, and also give you the mapping system so that you can do it for yourself and switch this anxiety attack off once and for all. It's 40 quid. The link will be a lower above when I'm finished here. And once again, you do not have to show up live for this. This is a live workshop, but you can watch it on the replay, so you don't have to worry about the dates or the times. So if you are interested, spread the love, spread the word. It's the first time that I've done an anxiety workshop, and I think in about a year and a half. It's the first time I've talked about anxiety in a long time, and the reason that I felt compelled to is because a lot of the people in the groups that I have, and a lot of my incoming requests for therapy is around anxiety, and we just aren't able to get to everybody that we need to get to. So this workshop is offering that bridge. So spread the word, share it to anybody you know has anxiety. And hopefully I will see you all on the 23rd of June. It's a 4-hour live workshop, so it's going to be quite intense, and we will switch off these anxiety attacks. So see you all soon. Thanks for sharing.